Hello everyone, welcome to new tech tip video. My name is Zeeshan and I'm cloud evangelist at DataNext Solutions. Today's topic is Terraform versus Ansible. So before we dive into it, Terraform and Ansible both are open source, and Terraform is managed by and actually developed by HashiCorp, and Ansible is now handled by basically Red Hat. So both are basically very popular tools when it comes to cloud infrastructure automation and configuration management. If you want to learn more about what is infrastructure automation and configuration management, check out other videos on the channel. We have talked detail about it, what are the benefits of using that, but I'll go through that. Terraform mainly used in the industry for infrastructure automation. What is infrastructure automation? For example, you're building a cloud environment and you need like 10 EC2 instance or virtual machines in Azure up and running, and they have different configurations, different settings, for example. So instead of doing that work manually, like clicking on the launch instance button, putting all the parameters value and run it, what if I tell you, hey, I need to repeat the same process 1000 times or in different region as well? So that manual is no longer practical. So what you do, basically you write all the infrastructure details in your files in Terraform, and when you run that script, it's automatically create the infrastructure in the cloud. So Terraform does most of the work related to infrastructure. You have to create resources, you have to spin up a new database, you have to set up a network, you need to set up a networking between the two networks, and all that type of related to infrastructure stuff you do basically in Terraform. On the other hand, Ansible is more suitable for configuration management. It does some of the infrastructure stuff as well, and Terraform can do some configuration management, but configuration management is mainly like when you have your infrastructure up and running, what softwares or tools or utilities you want to actually run on those resources. For example, your virtual machine, you need to install Apache server, and the state of this Apache server should be up and running, or certain file should be in certain location on those servers. For example, when you have like hundreds of virtual machines running in the cloud, and if I say, hey, can you copy the same file into all those machines? Manually it would be very cumbersome and non-practical again, but with the tools of Ansible, you just change your configuration and you say, okay, this is my ideal state, these are virtual machines up and running, and they should have Apache server installed, and this file should be copied on this folder. So you tell Ansible that, and Ansible will take care of all these things. So that's basically a configuration management. So in configuration management, you define your ideal state, and that's basically these softwares will take care of. The Terraform basically is declarative in nature. For example, when you are there are a lot of dependencies when it comes to create a resource. For example, you want to launch EC2 instance in the cloud on AWS, but it should be on a network and should have like VPC subnets and security group defines. So when you define your other things, Terraform actually automatically set up a priority that to launch EC2 instance, you should have a VPC up and running. So if it will first create a VPC, and then it will actually deploy EC2 instance in that VPC. So it does automatically. On Ansible side, you have to define like a step-by-step instructions. For example, first you say, okay, install Apache, then okay, start Apache, and so it's a set of instructions basically in a sequence in most of the cases. So that's basically will tell you like what is your ideal state. For example, it will install the Apache and then it will start the server. On the Terraform side, basically you write scripts or modules. Modules is basically Terraform files the programming you do basically on it. You can share with different Terraform users as well. On Ansible, you create playbooks, which is basically like a set of instructions, same thing. Do these things step by step. Terraform uses a language called HCL, but it is similar to JSON in a sense, but it has some additional features that allow you to easily write declarative code. Ansible mostly use YAML stuff, and that's how basically these two softwares compares. They both work together pretty well. For example, you can have Terraform scripts make sure that your infrastructure up and running, and then run some commands on the Terraform to actually launch the playbooks of Ansible. So what will happen, for example, you say, okay, launch my EC2 instance. When it's up and running, now install Apache on it, and then you say, okay, copy all my files to that server. So that sequence you can actually do with the help of Terraform and Ansible together. You can do reversely as well. You can say, okay, once my infrastructure ready, basically run a playbook to actually launch a Terraform script first. And once the Terraform script launches, then actually run the playbook again to install the required softwares, and then make sure everything is working together like that. So hope you like the quick overview about Terraform versus Ansible. If you have any comments, please feel free to post them, and I'll see you in the next video.